Have you ever stopped to think about what would happen if time started passing in Peppa?
Wow!
Have you noticed that Peppa Pig has never aged? She has been 4 years old since the show started, and it has already been 20 years. Time in Peppa Pig has always been frozen, but the birth of little sister Eevee Pig changed everything. If Mommy Pig spent 9 months pregnant, it means that time is finally moving in the series. The question that doesn't go away is, if time doesn't stop again, what will the future of Peppa's whole gang be like? Eevee's birth isn't just adorable.
Aww.
It's the engine of time in the series. Mommy Pig spent 9 months pregnant. Fans believe that Eevee will grow super fast in the next seasons, maybe turning 2 years old so she can get out of the baby crib and start interacting. The show needs her to grow to have new adventures and justify the introduction of such an important character. When she turns 2, Eevee will enter Madame Gazelle's school, taking Peppa's spot, who would already be older. Eevee would become the new, youngest student and the protagonist of the group, bringing a fresh vibe and lots of chaos to the class. Will she be as bossy as Peppa, or more mischievous and whiny like George? Want to know what else could change if time starts passing in the show? Then come with us to see these incredible theories about how the future of Peppa Pig will be completely different. Another episode of Zigzag is starting now. What happens when Peppa, George, and the gang become too big to jump in muddy puddles? This is the million-dollar question. Peppa is obsessed with puddles. It is the main fun of the family. But when she turns 5 or 6 years old, jumping in the mud may no longer be so cool, and instead a reason for embarrassment. Fans imagine that they would trade the muddy puddles for more radical and grown-up activities, like adventure sports, skateboarding, or even typical pre-adolescence dramas. Time moving forward would force the producers to be creative. Maybe Peppa and Susie Sheep would start making videos on social media, in the vlog style. Or the pig family would discover a new activity, like diving or climbing, to release the energy. If time does not stop, George would also grow, no longer being the baby of the family. He would have to invent new games to stand out, since the muddy puddles would be Eevee's great passion, the new youngest child, forcing George to mature and to become interested in more complex things. But what if Peppa grows up and becomes a teenager? Come see with us what it would be like. With Peppa getting older, the focus of the series would change radically from the school to the dramas of pre-adolescence and of primary school. Peppa, Susie Sheep, and Pedro Pony would be in elementary school, dealing with the first friendship dramas, the gossip, and the normal insecurities of the age. Peppa would for sure have to change schools, obviously, right? This would create a new routine, with Peppa having to adapt to new friends and challenges. Susie and Peppa would have to deal with the friendship fights and with the crushes. And speaking of crushes, Pedro Pony would try to impress the girls with more elaborate magic tricks. This phase of Peppa's life would be very important to show her maturation, trading Madame Gazelle's simple games for bigger responsibilities. If the series followed this path, we would have episodes about sleepover parties with secrets, school assignments in groups, and Peppa trying to be like her cousin Chloe, who is older and cool. Maybe Peppa would also have a new presence in the family if time starts to pass. Want to know who it would be? We are going to reveal it in the next topic. Meanwhile, you can go to the comments and type #Peppa to tell us what you think will happen in the future of our favorite little pig. The birth of Eevee can be what was missing for the pig family to unite. In some episodes, we get to know Aunt Dottie, Mommy Pig's sister who lives in the United States and rarely appears. With the arrival of a new baby and Peppa's life changing, Aunt Dottie can feel homesick for the family and decide to move back to live close to Mommy Pig and Daddy Pig. The Thanksgiving episode was the beginning of this reapproach, showing that the family differences can be overcome. Aunt Dottie would be a great company for Mommy Pig, who will soon become a bestseller author, and a new, cool aunt for Peppa. It is the chance to unite the whole pig family around Eevee's new adventures. This would prove that the time that passes, besides bringing changes, also brings people back home. Time can also bring other very good novelties for the pig family, especially for Daddy Pig. Take a look! Daddy Pig is the favorite target of all the jokes, especially because of his belly and his lack of skill with hammers. But the truth is that he is a very intelligent engineer. He actually is very competent, even because it was him who designed Mr. Wolf's house, and he is one of the best in his area. With time, he would earn the respect he deserves, and finally would be promoted at work, maybe becoming the boss of the whole office. This promotion can mean that the pig family is going to move. Fans imagine that they could leave the famous red house for a mansion, proving that Daddy Pig is much more than he seems. This would create new challenges, with Daddy Pig trying to deal with the pressure of being the boss, and the family trying to adapt to a much bigger house, where they would trade jumping in muddy puddles for playing in the fountains. It would be even more fun. Another character who would deal with new challenges without a doubt would be George. What would his life be like? George is destined to have a life of adventures, thanks to his obsession with dinosaurs. Do you remember when he finds a dinosaur bone? This is the biggest clue. George, just like Bandit from Bluey, is going to be an archaeologist. He is going to trade his toy dinosaur for real bones, traveling around the world in search of prehistoric findings. This profession matches perfectly with George's silent and focused personality. Fans believe that George's adventure can even become a spin-off of Peppa Pig, showing his travels around the world. He would be the only character to leave the muddy puddles to dig in the desert, proving that his childlike love for dinosaurs became a brilliant professional future. Imagine George, already an adult, finding dinosaur mummies in the jungle or in the desert, and calling Peppa to tell her the news. And for you to always know our news, it is just to subscribe to our channel by clicking the button. The saddest side of the passage of time is that people become older and older. Granny Pig and Grandpa Pig, who always give support and help to Peppa and George, are not immortal like Madame Gazelle, especially because they are not vampires. If time has truly started to run and move forward in Peppa's world, the series may have to deal with and address the sad farewell of the grandparents. This is a part of real life that children's animated shows normally avoid and usually prefer not to show. However, the arrival of Eevee, which proves and shows the passage of months in the series, may be a sign that the older ones are getting ready to say goodbye. The lesson would be that life continues even with everything that happens. This would show that the cartoon is not afraid of dealing with and approaching difficult themes, teaching children about the cycle of life in a caring and affectionate way. With the certainty that the memories of Grandpa Pig and his boat rides, and the memories of Granny Pig and her love for birds, will last forever and ever. Granny Pig and Grandpa Pig are a very loved and cherished couple, but the future may also show what will happen with another possible couple in the cartoon. The passing of time moving forward can give us the answer to a romantic mystery. Will Peppa and Pedro Pony end up together? Peppa has already said that she would marry him, and she even kissed him on the cheek, which is already a very big step for a child. We know that people really love weddings. Everyone absolutely loved seeing the union of Mr. Bull and Mrs. Cow. And even though Peppa and Pedro cannot have children, because they are animals from different species, Eevee and George can be the ones who are going to continue the pig family when they grow up. Fans dream that the wedding of Peppa and Pedro Pony will be a special movie of 2 full hours, showing all the preparation and also the big ceremony. If Peppa gets married, the entire kindergarten group, Susie, Rebecca, Danny, would be there, already adults, turning the union into a huge reunion of old friends. So, do you think these theories about the future make sense?